Your partner does not know what you don't tell them. People, period, don't truly know what you don't actually say. A lot of people swear up and down they communicate really effectively, right? Because they're really articulate and they can speak using big words, or, they can really lay something out when they say certain things. But one of the big misses that people don't often realize is people don't know, right? You're not communicating effectively with the things you don't say. It's more often not about what you do say, but what you haven't said, right? It's more about the thing you were trying to convey versus what actually came out of your mouth. And more often than not, they're two different things when people are operating in their conversations. But what happens? People start to assume that the other person, their partner, their friend, the family member, whomever, thinks the way they do, that they rationalize and put the same form of logic to the same scenarios and same circumstances. They assume that this person that has known them their whole lives, or their partner that's been with them all this time, gets it, right? They understand me. They know what it means for me when this happens. So when you say a few catch lines or catch words or catch phrases, we assume the other person gets the whole picture. Understand that if you have never had a point in time where you've actually physically and literally said the thing that you were trying to convey, you can safely assume that your partner does not know exactly what you mean. Heck, even if you have said it directly, sometimes it's a matter of repetition, consistency of saying the same thing multiple times. Not saying you have to repeat yourself forever. But if you have a different perspective, belief, or ideology about something that your partner is vastly different on, is like a 180 of a contrast, then you may need to reiterate something that you have said more than once. Not saying you have to do it forever, but you may need to reinforce it a few times so that your partner can fully grasp and digest it. But here's what most of us do. We'll have a situation where our partner does something, we don't like it, right? It doesn't work for us a certain way. And what someone will say is, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Or that's not something I would do, right? Or that just, no, I'm not seeing it. We use those kind of terms. But the moment they become upset about it, right? And they're talking to their friend, or, coming to talk to their coach, or whomever they're working with, or whoever they're confiding in, to vent their frustrations about this thing after it's now happened, what do they say to the coach, or the friend, or someone they're confiding in? They say, oh, well, I told him or her that, I don't like that. It makes me feel away, or makes me upset because, it means to me I'm not being respected, or it means to me that there's no consideration being given to me. And then I feel bad about it, right? We give all the goods, all the substance and the depth to the person or the people we're confiding in, but we don't give that level of significance and vulnerability and substance, context to the very person that we're assuming is getting it from those light little lines we said of, I don't know how I feel about that, or I don't know, it's not really rubbing me right. Where yes, you're giving an inclination that whatever the situation is you don't like, or you don't agree with, or it doesn't work for you, right? You're giving an idea. It's something on the radar. And to be fair, on your partner's side, they should be aware, right? Have self-awareness to be aware of you, and to ask more questions when they hear you saying something that could suggest that you're not okay with something or not comfortable with it, right? But you're putting a lot of assumption on their way of seeing the world. Maybe to them, it just meant, oh, it's just not your thing, but it's not that deep and they can continue doing it. Or it's, ultimately, oh, you're just not comfortable with it because it's, something that maybe you haven't experienced yet. I'll just let them experience it first. So I'm going to go do it anyways. There could be a multitude of conclusions your partner comes to with the things you don't say literally. We have a really bad habit as people in saying pieces of information of something that really matters to us, right? See, whenever you're giving a part of the information to someone and you assume they get the rest of the puzzle, it's okay when it's something that's like lighthearted or something that doesn't have a lot of an impact. But if it's something that actually is going to change the way you feel drastically for the good, for the better, or for the worse, then now it's very important that you give as much information as you can appropriate to the dialogue, right? Don't start to have this run on, speech you're giving. But if there's crucial key pieces, you need to give them and give the meaning behind why those pieces are crucial for you so that your partner can actually be on the same exact page you're on with no guesswork. And this is why it's also good that once you have gone and fully articulated a complete thought and gave the substance behind that thought and the meaning for you to your partner, that you ask follow-up questions to make sure that their understanding of what you just said is the same thing as what you were trying to deliver. And people so often don't do this part. They feel I said it and got off my chest and got it out there, so now you fully know. And in some respects, hey, if you articulated it well enough, give enough substance, enough context, maybe you have done your job and your part, right? But don't leave it to chance. Make sure it's confirmed. Hey, are we on the same page? What are you getting? Or what are you saying back to me that shows that you get it? And let me make sure I'm understanding that what you're saying back to me means the same thing it means to me. Now, this might sound meticulous and like a lot, but in the beginning stages of trying to repair or build better communication with someone, with your partner, this is necessary until you know for sure you guys are on the same page around certain terminologies and certain uses of words. Words have meaning. And even though there's technical definitions of words, which if the world lived more by the technical definitions of words, we'd be a lot easier off, right? The whole point in there being definitions defining of a certain word is so that we all can find a common ground to communicate, because we're using words that mean something particularly that we all understand. But that's not how life works. People often take words and morph them into what they mean to them, right? They may understand the premise of that word, but they take it and they warp it into a different emotional meaning, a different contextual meaning. It's like whenever women, may call their friends a B, right? And it's a term of endearment. It's like my friend, my homie. But if a guy calls a woman a B, then now it's derogatory. It's, saying something disrespectful, right? Same word, different meaning. So we have to make sure if you are having a lot of headbutting with your partner and you feel like they never get you, you're never on the same page. You say one thing, they do another, or they keep doing the thing that you said you don't like and all this stuff. It's a matter of miscommunication, this misunderstanding going on. If that person actually loves you and cares about you and you care about them in return. If you can agree to that, then they would never intentionally continue to do something that is going to make you upset, which in turn is going to make them upset because you're going to bring your gripe to them, or they're going to have an unhappy partner that they don't want to have, right? So it always comes back to how well did I actually communicate what I really was trying to say versus what came out of my mouth. So until you are 100% clear that you guys are on the same page with certain things, you have to take it piece by piece and be deeper and more thorough with the way you articulate things. And you have to make sure that what you articulated was understood by asking questions of your partner, and do the same in return. When they say things to you, ask them questions to make sure that you understood what they said properly. That way there's less confusion, and as time goes on, there'll be less of the necessity to do that level of thoroughness. And then now you can shortchange things and go straight to it. And your results and your communication will be so much better, so much more improved, and so much more efficient. If you need help learning how to build your communication better in your relationship for you and your partner or by yourself, email or DM me the word coaching and we'll get to work as long as you're truly ready to put the work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time or the space for it, then email or DM me the word revival to join my Relationship Revival Hub community, where you can learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace on your own time through my live weekly coaching lessons and Q&A sessions to where I'm answering your questions directly on the spot. And if you can't be there live, you can always watch the replay to still get the same information. And I have all of my coaching courses and things in there as well to help you build a healthy relationship, understand conflict resolution, toxic habits that destroys relationships, the whole nine, love languages and everything, right? And it's the only place I make specialized content, particularly and strictly for my members, to give you exactly what you're looking to see and learn at your own time, at your own convenience. Either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.